Alright, gentlemen, let's talk attraction. There's a common belief out there, and it's often true, that younger women are naturally drawn to older men. Why? Think wisdom, life experience, a comforting sense of stability, and the ability to offer something profoundly deeper than younger guys might. Yet, I've witnessed countless older men, especially those in their 40s, 50s, and beyond, repeatedly stumble, blowing their chances with the very women they wish to connect with. They possess incredible potential, but some common missteps keep them stuck, single, and endlessly frustrated. It's not about changing who you are, but rather recognizing these pitfalls and embracing the confident, grounded man you're truly meant to be. Let's dive into these 8 common habits that, perhaps unknowingly, act as instant turn-offs. Avoiding them won't just shift how women perceive you. It'll transform how you see yourself. 1. Idolizing her, the pedestal problem. Picture this. You're faced with an attractive, vibrant, maybe even intimidating younger woman. What's your gut reaction? For many older men, it's a sudden freeze or a wave of panic. Thoughts like, she's way out of my league, I can't mess this up, begin to dictate their behavior. This often leads to overcompensation, showering her with special treatment, being excessively polite and agreeable, and tiptoeing around any potential disagreement. Conversations become bland, safe attempts to showcase an imagined perfection. Here's the ironic twist. All this effort to make her comfortable does the exact opposite. It makes you uninteresting. Women aren't looking for a man who places them on a pedestal. They're drawn to a man who stands confidently beside them as an equal. This habit stems from a subconscious belief that she's a prize you don't deserve, making every interaction feel like a high-stakes audition for her approval. This mindset projects insecurity, which is inherently unattractive and frankly exhausting. It signals to her that you undervalue yourself, instantly diminishing her perception of you. The remedy is simple but profound. Normalize your interactions. Talk to women of all ages without attaching excessive significance to the outcome. When you engage with more people, you realize that everyone is just that, people, with their own flaws, quirks, and humanity. This breaks down the imaginary pedestal and allows you to approach with a calm, grounded confidence. Remember, you're not auditioning. She's not a trophy. She's a human being determining compatibility, and that's a two-way street. Once this mindset takes hold, the fear of losing her dissipates, because you'll know your value isn't dependent on any single person's approval. Raw confidence, even without a conventional reason to be confident, is magnetic and irresistible. 2. Mishandling the age question. The insecurity leak. You're having a fantastic conversation with a younger woman. Things are flowing, the vibe is great, and then it drops. So how old are you? For many older men, this is where the panic sets in. They might nervously blurt out their age or awkwardly try to change the subject. Body language shifts, tone becomes uneasy, and the confident man who intrigued her suddenly seems to shrink. The core issue? When you act insecure about your age, you're broadcasting a clear signal that you perceive it as a problem. And guess what? If you view it as an issue, she likely will too. This fear often stems from a lack of confidence in one's own worth, exacerbated by societal pressures that can make dating younger women feel inappropriate or even taboo, leading to shame or self-doubt. But here's the truth. Your age isn't the problem. It's how you frame it. Approaching it with hesitation invites her to adopt the same negative lens. When this question arises next time, own it. Confidence is paramount. You can handle it playfully, diffusing any tension and potentially building attraction. A sly smile and a quip like, "I'm actually too old for you. We'd never work," or pretending to count on your fingers and declaring, "I'm 700 months old. How about you?" can work wonders. If humor isn't your natural forte, keep it direct and simple. State your age with a calm, confident tone. "I'm 47, followed by a slight pause and a smile. Then casually steer the conversation back to something engaging. The objective is to demonstrate that your age is a non-issue. When you're comfortable with who you are, she be comfortable too. Confidence transforms your age into an asset, not a limitation. How you address this question sets the perception for the entire dynamic. 3. Leading with money. The walking ATM syndrome. A significant number of older men mistakenly believe their financial success is their ultimate secret weapon for attracting younger women. The thought process is, if I can just show her how much I have, she'll be impressed and I'll win her over. So they lead with their wallets. This can manifest as bragging about high-paying jobs, fancy cars, extravagant vacations, or frequenting expensive restaurants. Some even escalate to buying lavish gifts, paying off bills, or sending money to women they barely know. While this might initially grab attention, it's rarely the kind of attention you genuinely desire. The stark reality is, when you lead with money, you reduce yourself to nothing more than a walking ATM. Yes, financial stability and success can be attractive, signaling a certain level of security. However, if that's your sole offering, you'll primarily attract women interested in exploiting that resource. These individuals aren't seeking genuine connection or mutual respect. They're looking for what they can extract. To sidestep this trap, shift the focus away from money in your interactions. Allow your financial success to emerge naturally over time as a component of the broader, richer picture of who you are. Prioritize your personality, your values, and the distinctive perspective you bring to the table. The women truly worth your time aren't in search of a benefactor. They're seeking someone they can genuinely connect with. Presenting yourself as a well-rounded, confident man who happens to be successful will not only draw in higher quality women but also lay the groundwork for a relationship founded on mutual respect rather than mere transactions. Money is a tool, not a crutch. Lead with your character. That's where your true distinction lies. 4. Positioning yourself as a mentor. The friend zone blueprint. Many older men inadvertently fall into the role of a guide or mentor for younger women. The logic is, if I can show her how much I can teach her, she'll eventually recognize my value. Consequently, they dedicate their efforts to assisting her with her career, dispensing life advice, or offering general guidance, all while subtly concealing their romantic intentions. Initially, this might seem innocuous or providing value, right? But here's the critical flaw. When you assume the mentor role, you effectively strip away any romantic or sexual tension. You become someone she respects or admires, but definitively not someone she perceives as a potential partner. Worse, when you eventually attempt to shift the dynamic into a romantic one, it often feels awkward and forced. She wasn't anticipating it, and instead of feeling flattered, she's likely to feel uncomfortable. Why? Because you've meticulously positioned yourself as a teacher, not a lover. If your aim is for a younger woman to see you as more than just a friend or mentor, you need to cultivate a flirty, fun atmosphere from the outset. Don't procrastinate for weeks or months to reveal your intentions. By then, the romantic window may have closed. Instead, subtly integrate playful teasing, light compliments, and moments of genuine connection early in your interactions. This establishes a dynamic that is both engaging and romantically charged. And remember, women possess an acute sense of authenticity. Don't pretend to be a mentor if that's not your true desire. Be upfront with your energy and allow her to see the confident, charismatic side of you. The key is balance. Demonstrate your wisdom and experience, but ensure it doesn't eclipse the fact that you also know how to have fun and ignite chemistry. When you shed the mentor disguise, you'll discover that genuine attraction manifests far more naturally, saving you from the dreaded friend zone. 5. Trying too hard to look young. The unnatural facade, one of the most prevalent mistakes older men make is exerting excessive effort to appear younger than they are. Whether it's adopting clothing styles that don't suit their age, forcing trendy slang into conversations, or chasing cultural phenomena that clearly don't align with their personality, the outcome is consistently the same. It comes across as unnatural and inauthentic. Younger women don't find this desperate attempt at youthfulness appealing. In fact, it often has the opposite effect. Instead of perceiving a confident, self-assured individual, they see someone insecure about their age, frantically trying to contort themselves into a mold that simply doesn't fit. This creates an immediate and jarring disconnect. The truth is, trying to look or act younger doesn't enhance your appeal. What truly makes you attractive is embracing your age with unwavering confidence. A well-groomed, stylish man who carries himself with grace and poise will always stand out far more than someone attempting to be what they are not. Invest in a wardrobe that reflects your maturity while remaining sharp and contemporary, leaning into classic and fitted timeless styles rather than fleeting trends. Prioritize your health and fitness not with the aim of looking younger, but to feel your absolute best at any age. And in conversation, resist the urge to force contemporary slang or cultural references. Speak with the authenticity and wisdom that your life experience has bestowed upon you. This is what genuinely distinguishes you from younger guys. Remember, younger women are often drawn to older men precisely because of their accumulated life experience, their inherent confidence, and the stability they offer. When you try too hard to appear young, you undermine the very qualities that make you attractive in the first place. Stop attempting to compete with a younger crowd. It's a losing battle. Instead, lean into who you are, allowing your confidence and presence to speak volumes. That, my friends, is what truly makes you irresistible. 6. Overloading the conversation with achievements. The self-absorbed monologue older. Men frequently fall into the trap of transforming conversations into one-sided monologues about their accomplishments. They operate under the assumption that detailing their career successes, extensive educational background, or past achievements will impress a younger woman and elevate their perceived value. While there's absolutely nothing wrong with being proud of what you've achieved, dominating the conversation with these exhaustive details can spectacularly backfire. Here's why. When you incessantly recount your feats, the conversational focus shifts entirely away from her. Instead of fostering a connection, you come across as self-absorbed, or worse, as if you're desperately trying to validate your own worth. Younger women aren't looking for a resume. They are seeking someone who genuinely listens, truly connects, and actively engages with them. Attraction is meticulously built through shared experiences, mutual understanding, and authentic emotional connection, not by an exhaustive recitation of your accolades. The elegant solution is to keep your achievements tucked away in your back pocket. Allow them to emerge naturally within the organic flow of the conversation, or even better, let her discover them organically over time. Instead, concentrate on being fully present, asking insightful and meaningful questions, and demonstrating a genuine interest in her thoughts, feelings, and experiences. A truly confident man has no need to constantly validate his value. His demeanor inherently speaks for itself. By deliberately shifting the focus to her and cultivating a balanced, reciprocal conversation, you'll forge a connection that feels both authentic and effortless, leading to far deeper attraction. 7. Neglecting your physical presence. The letting yourself go pitfall. One of the most significant yet easily remediable mistakes older men make is neglecting their physical appearance and overall presence. Over time, it's all too easy to lapse into the comfortable, albeit misguided, belief that your accomplishments, personality, or life experience alone are sufficient to carry you. But here's the unvarnished truth. Attraction is as much about how you present yourself to the world as it is about the inherent qualities of who you are. You don't need to resemble a fitness model but allowing yourself to physically deteriorate. Sends a loud, clear message: you're not putting in the effort. And that, unequivocally, can be a major turn-off. Neglecting basic grooming, dressing sloppily, or failing to maintain a reasonably healthy lifestyle can overshadow even the most commendable aspects of your personality. Younger women are often drawn to older men precisely because they embody stability and strength. When your physical appearance fails to align with or actively contradicts that energy, it creates a palpable disconnect. It's not about trying to look young. It's about presenting the absolute best version of yourself at any age. The fix begins with the fundamentals. Maintain sharp grooming. This means trimmed facial hair, clean nails, and a modern, well-maintained haircut that suits your age. Upgrade your wardrobe to classic, well-fitted pieces, prioritizing timeless styles over fleeting trends. And most crucially, prioritize your health. Regular exercise and a balanced diet not only enhance your appearance, but significantly boost your confidence, energy levels, and overall vitality. Your physical presence is a direct extension of your self-respect. When you invest in yourself, it shows, and that self-respect is profoundly contagious. A man who prioritizes investing in himself is inherently a man worth investing in. 8. Failing to bridge generational gaps genuinely. The disconnect in shared worlds beyond the specific habits. An overarching turn-off for younger women is when older men fail to genuinely bridge the inherent generational gaps. It's not just about age, but the distinct experiences, perspectives, and cultural landscapes that different generations inhabit. While older men are often lauded for their wisdom and maturity, a significant age gap can lead to fundamental differences in thinking, values, and life goals, which can become major barriers. For example, younger individuals are often described as more enthusiastic, impulsive, and less patient, while older men tend to be calmer and more patient. This contrast can lead to a disconnect in daily interactions and expectations. Lifestyle differences, from musical tastes and film preferences to social circles and energy levels, can also create friction. If an older man consistently shows disinterest in her cultural touchstones, or vice versa, it can feel like living in different worlds. While older men might understand a woman's psychology due to varied life experiences, some can also be cold, possessive, or imposing, failing to truly empathize or validate her feelings. This isn't about forcing yourself to adopt her youthful trends, which we covered earlier. Instead, it's about genuine curiosity and a willingness to understand and integrate her world into yours, and vice versa. Relationships are built on shared experiences and understanding. If one partner views the relationship as a conquest or is stuck in an earlier developmental stage emotionally despite their age, this lack of genuine connection and reciprocal understanding becomes deeply unattractive. It's crucial to acknowledge and respect these differences, finding common ground and shared future goals rather than letting disparate priorities pull you apart. Open and honest communication is the lifeline here, ensuring that age doesn't become an impenetrable wall between two people. Patience is paramount, especially when one partner is experiencing something for the first time that the other has long since lived through. True attraction blossoms when both individuals are willing to meet each other in the middle, creating a unique, shared narrative that transcends mere numbers. In summary, while older men naturally possess an appealing gravitas rooted in wisdom, stability, and life experience, these innate advantages are easily undermined by common, avoidable habits. Whether it's putting women on a pedestal, letting insecurity dictate how you discuss your age, flaunting wealth rather than character, becoming a detached mentor, or chasing youthfulness, the core issue often lies in a lack of genuine self-acceptance and authenticity. Neglecting your physical presence or failing to truly bridge the nuanced gaps between generations further erodes attraction. The good news? You don't need a radical personality overhaul. By focusing on becoming the most confident, self-aware, and authentic version of yourself, a grounded man who truly understands and values himself, you'll naturally attract the kind of deep, respectful connection you desire, transforming not just your relationships, but your entire mindset.